Hello everyone and welcome back to Bitcoin Tips. Today we are talking about how you can have the chance to earn 3.125 Bitcoin at home using a solo miner like this one. Today we're talking about the Bitaxe 601 Gamma solo Bitcoin miner, which allows you to hash at over 1.2 terahashes at home for less than 20 watts. Bitcoin mining has shifted over into the world of ASICs, meaning you have to have a lot of power and a lot of computers to make a small amount of Bitcoin. And with devices like this Bitaxe in partnership with Solo Satoshi, it is bringing Bitcoin mining back into the at-home playing field. So let's jump over to the computer and take a closer look at what this device can do for you and your crypto portfolio. So, taking a quick look here at today's crypto prices, as you can see, Bitcoin is positioned right now just over $97,000, which is awesome to see, meaning that if this solo miner finds a Bitcoin block for you, you will be earning over $300,000 plus the fees and all of that. So, super cool. But what does this solo mining mean? You might be thinking, how much does this chip, this device, however you want to address it, how much does this make? And the answer is $0. So the reason that it's $0 is this is a solo miner, meaning that you are hoping that this device finds the entire Bitcoin block and pays you out the entire thing. Traditionally, ASICs, and even going back further back to when GPUs and CPUs were profitable for Bitcoin mining, you could run them on a pool. Everybody puts their power together, finds more blocks more often, and splits the reward based on how much power you bring to the pool. That's all great, but unless you have a ton of machines, you're really not going to be earning a ton. And where solo mining comes in is you are hoping that you get lucky, your device finds a Bitcoin block and pays you out that entire block reward, which right now, after the last Bitcoin having about a year ago, is 3.125 Bitcoin. So let's talk a little bit more about this device. The Bitaxe Gamma 601 here from Solo Satoshi comes in right at about $170. So as you can see here, it is an all-in-one package. They advertise it as running at about 18 watts. I do have mine overclocked just a little bit, so it is coming in at about 20 watts, which is super low compared to traditional Bitcoin mining. So as you can see, like you saw in the beginning here, it comes with the board itself, which has the little screen, the power supply, and the stand. Power supply you can choose if you are getting it in North America or if you have the European outlets, and the stand you can choose upright or stackable. This is what the stackable ones look like. If you're looking to get multiple of these, it can be a little bit of a nice space saver. So, very cool, but is this really something that you want to get into? The risk here with this Bitcoin miner is that it just simply doesn't find a block. But with the trade-off of the off chance that it does find a block, you would be not only making the initial investment back, but 1,000 times more than what you would have spent, on just this one device or even a small collection of them. So let's take a closer look here at the actual chances that you have to find a Bitcoin block. So as you can see here, according to Solo Luck, right now the winning value for a Bitcoin block is $306,000, 623. So very large reward. Obviously, that's not going to come around all the time, but if you know a little bit about Bitcoin, the blocks run roughly every 10 minutes, meaning that you have a chance to find a Bitcoin block every 10 minutes. So let's enter in the hash rate of 1.2 terahashes, which is what is usually to be expected off of these devices. Sometimes you can get them a little higher, but generically, if you want to play it safe, 1.2 terahashes. So your chances per day are 1 in 5 million, basically 5.1 million. So pretty low. But when you start to look at it a little closer in the year time frame, your chances per year are actually 1 in 14,000. So a much bigger chance of finding that block. Now, of course, Bitcoin mining is completely random. You could turn this on and let it run for 20 years and not find a block, whereas your next door neighbor could get the same device the same day as you, turn it on, and 10 minutes in, find a block. So it is truly completely random, but the longer it runs, the more shares you submit, the higher the chance that the share you submit is actually the correct one, awarding you the block. So as you can see here, there's a little bit more information here. Again, as I mentioned, the block time is just about 10 minutes. They talk about the next Bitcoin halving, which is when this 3.125 will get cut in half, which is about 3 years away. Roughly, that will change a little bit over time, but definitely still have some decent time to try and get in on this 3.125. And you might be thinking, this is impossible. Why would anybody want to do this? Well, there have actually been over 200 blocks on the Bitcoin blockchain found by solo miners with people mining on devices like the Bitaxe 601. So it is absolutely possible. It could be one of the best investments that you make if you do happen to find a block. So I do want to take just another second to talk a little bit more about the actual device itself. And I will say that as we get into this, if you are interested in this technology, in this miner, and want to get one for yourself in hopes of finding a Bitcoin block, there is a link in the description below to head over to Solo Satoshi and get one of these for yourself. I highly recommend it. That's where I got mine, and it was a great experience ordering it and getting it shipped. It was within a few days of actually ordering it. So the Bitaxe 601, or Bitaxe platform in general, is a really unique idea that we haven't seen before in cryptocurrency. So as I mentioned before, Bitcoin mining has moved into the world of ASICs. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but there are only a handful of large companies that actually make ASICs that are profitable for Bitcoin mining. So what the Bitaxe platform and company has set out to do is bring open source mining into the Bitcoin ecosystem. So what's really cool is if we go into the source here, you can see that they list out all of the hardware, the firmware, and community information about all of their Bitaxe products. Okay, so if we take a look here, under the source page, we can look here at the Bitaxe Gamma. Now, what's really cool about this is because everything is completely open source, you can actually just go into the design files, which will take you over to their GitHub, which gives you all of the information that you need to build this thing yourself. All the information from the PCB designs to the components like the fan and heatsink and screen, power supply information, and all of the schematics to actually solder this and put it all together. Now, what's really cool about the Bitaxe platform is if you are into electronics, designing, building, stuff like that, it's all right here in the GitHub for you. But if you're someone more aligned to myself, where you really like Bitcoin mining, you like the technology of mining, but don't really have any experience in circuit design and building integrated circuits, you can go out to places like Solo Satoshi and order completed products, ship it directly, ready to plug and play. And what's really cool is because this is all open source, as I mentioned here on the front page, if we go into the source here, they do have a very large community of people who have not only built these themselves, but also modified them with upgraded cooling, upgraded power, that can really take this to the next level. So if this interests you and you think, it would be cool to actually build one of these, but you're not sure if that's something you're wanting to fully get into, what I'd recommend is go out to Solo Satoshi, purchase one, and then start modifying it. If it's something that's really interesting and going well, then come over here to Bitaxe, open up the website, and get all those design files and start building it yourself. So not only is this a Bitcoin solo miner that has the potential to earn you over $300,000, but it could be your jumping point into a world of circuit design and electronics that you may not have exposure to now. So again, the link to Solo Satoshi to order the Bitaxe 601 Gamma is down below in the description. I highly recommend at least checking them out. They're a great company that provides cryptocurrency solo miners, specifically in Bitcoin, for the SHA-256 algorithm. Right now, it does look like their stock is a little bit low on all of the miners except the Bitaxe one, for the one that we're talking about today. So if you're interested in this, I would hop over and get that sooner than later so that you don't miss out if they happen to go out of stock. And again, if you haven't already, consider subscribing to Bitcoin Tips so you don't miss out on anything related to cryptocurrency, whether it be mining or faucets or anything in between. And make sure you hit that like button. It really does help out the channel and allow us to bring these videos here for free on YouTube for you. So, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.